Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're going to look at rank 3 Kingpin. I took him up before the buff went live. I could not be happier with this guy. He does significant damage. He is a ton of fun to play. And with a couple synergies, he is really versatile. We're going to take a look at 5 fights, all of them in Act 7, the latest in-game content in the game, to show you what this guy can do. All right, the first fight we're going to take a look at is Biohazard. I think Kingpin is incredible for this if you're willing to bring the Hood synergy. It works out really well because you're taking a lane that is applying the bleed and the poison debuffs very regularly. With Hood, he has a 100% ability to turn those debuffs into rage. You see those are the fists in the upper left-hand corner. When he gets 8 of them, we're going to get a massive fury buff. You see it right there. That fury buff is providing plus 777,000 attack. It is huge. Look, that's what allows us to do a 26k heavy. We're going to do these a couple times. If you land those 3 times in a very short period of time, I think it's about 4 seconds, you get a fury of about 2,600. It's a really nice add-on and it's a ton of fun. But I think the real thing to focus on here is we do not have the Mr. Sinister Synergy, which does provide a nice power lock. We'll look at that at the end of this video. But we're seeing how easily and how well he can take a biohazard lane or a lane that applies these sorts of debuffs and the significant damage increase that comes from it. I like to go to this SP3 when possible because it refreshes the rage, remember, which increases the attack significantly. Plus it stuns the opponent for 3.5 seconds, allowing us to go in and do some really big finishes like you're seeing there. We'll see that probably once or twice more, if I remember correctly, in this video. All right. The next fight we're going to take a look at is in Act 7. All of them are going to be in Act 7, but it's this particle protector. Size matters with this bulked up. So we are receiving a nice little fury benefit there from charging the heavy. This just plays in so well to Kingpin's play style of wanting to land those heavies. And remember, when you throw those heavies too, you're getting a significant buff to your physical resistance. It is significant. It's 3,225. So you're really incentivized to throw these heavies, to be aggressive. I've found that I wanted to just brawl with this guy. He is an excellent brawler. You feel like you are playing with a brawler, with Kingpin. They did a great job with this, but he's not just fun. I'm not sure where I'm gonna end up ranking him just yet, but he can do a lot. I don't think this is just one of those things where it's like, he can do a lot for a progressing account. I think this guy is really good. I'm happy that I have him at rank 3. You see what we're doing there? You do want to throw the heavies. They do some nice damage if you're able to throw them quickly enough. You see the timer in the upper left-hand corner there. It came a little bit short, and the Sinister Synergy does help you with the power lock, get those 3 those 3 heavies in consecutively quickly enough to get the nice fury buff from it. But keep in mind that fury buff is only 2,600, which is a lot. I say only because it is not very much compared to what the fury buff we're going to get from being an overcharge. Remember, that's 7,777. This is a big, beefy opponent. Act 7. We're about to throw the SP3. We did. We're at 25 hits in the combo meter anyway. And we're just going to finish this off with bellies. Look at this. 22,000, 26,000. We're getting a little lucky there. I think it would have been smarter to wait, obviously let Ant-Man throw his special and then go in for that. Got a little lucky he didn't throw the SP3 there. But 55 hits, I think that was over 400,000 health, and he's done. Moving on to this. Aspect of War, an extremely tough node. Now, they did put in the stun vulnerability, which is very special there. I'm sorry, the Cage Rattler, which is very helpful to skill attackers. Obviously, they're trying to incentivize you to use one. A lot of people, I think, would go with Stealth Spidey. But watch this. Watch how well this can work out and the amount of damage this guy can put out. The things I want to point out in the last fight too, and now in this one, there's no debuffs being put on us. There's no debuffs that we're shrugging and turning into rage that are massively increasing our damage. He doesn't need that to do this sort of damage. I mean, you're seeing it for yourself. You saw what he just did to that Ant-Man and what he's now doing to this Cap Infinity War. 21 hits in, and he's at 71%. Now, you got to play pretty well, I think, to do this lane with him. But if I can do it, I believe you can too. And I did take the whole lane with him. But let's go ahead and see this through. So we've thrown the SP2. The SP2 is nice. It gives you 100% chance to go to get an unstoppable buff, which lasts 7.5 seconds. While you're unstoppable, any hit that you or the defender lands, so either champion, has a 50% chance to give Kingpin a rage, which again, if you get to 8, you get that massive fury buff, right? 7,775, which can be refreshed by the SP3. There's a real nice rotation there of throwing the SP2, and then if possible, you get real quickly back to the SP3 because the rage does increase the amount of power you gain. But in most cases, I like to just do this and then get to the SP3 naturally. We've got the where he's going to come out, he's going to be stunned, and then watch this. It's a lot. I'm going to show you all these fights, all Act 7, where you see that he can do this. Can't stop, won't stop. We've seen that before. We've seen that in Act 6. We're now seeing it in Act 7. There is a big benefit to bringing in a Mystic Champion, but I wanted to show you all of the fights that I think he could do, and not just the ones where I thought he was going to be amazing for them. You see how frequently we're going unstoppable, again, with every heavy. The only time you're not going to go unstoppable with the heavy is if you've triggered the fury that comes with the 3 consecutive heavies. I think we may end up doing that in this fight. We might get a chance to. I know we do in the Sinister fight that's coming up, so we'll see it there. When that happens, you no longer go unstoppable. So that's important to keep in mind, at least for the duration of that fury. But you see that we're getting these nice heavies. And so here it is. We've got the fury from the heavy there. Going to throw our SP3 because of this node that's causing both champions in the fight to go unstoppable. We're not going to be able to just pile through like we normally would and enjoy that. But that's okay. I think that was a great example of the physical resistance that comes from throwing the heavy. You see, we took one there on the chin and we only went down to, I think, 95% health. I think that's another thing to point out is his regeneration rate. I know there was a big concern that he was going to have this really terrible regeneration rate when working with suicides, similar to Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen. I think they're even written similar, but you can see that he doesn't. We were at 95% health. We were running suicides here, and we are back up to 100% because the rage is treated as a debuff. It's a debuff. So we now have 5 debuffs on us. And you'll see willpower doing its thing there, right? And you can see why it is slightly reduced, because if it wasn't, I mean, he'd be healing up even more. This guy is a brawler. He's got the physical resistance. He's going unstoppable. He's getting these massive furies. I do think it would be a little bit too much if he was also healing at the normal rate. He's not meant to be a healing champion. But he works so well with suicides, and that's another reason why I think the Hood synergy works so well with him and for him. This fight took a little bit longer than the others, and again, that's because of the opponent potentially going unstoppable and things like that. But we've got our fury, we've gone in, and we're finishing it off with a 27,000k heavy. He's not just fun, he's actually really good. Very usable in questing and content. And so now here's the one that I've been mentioning so much. You'll see that we do have the Mr. Sinister Synergy, and what that's going to do is it's going to power lock the opponent whenever they throw a special. And you are going to see that I think it is helpful. And it is helpful for getting that additional fury buff with the heavy or locking the opponent in the corner and heavy. And it's very reminiscent of what we've seen out of Hulkbuster. But you see it's working there, and you see how quickly we're gaining the rage, because again, this is a biohazard node, so we're getting those debuffs and the poisons and the bleed put on us so frequently. But you see that Ronan has now gone, he's now power locked. We've thrown our special, we went unblockable because of it. It was the SP2. It was very tempting to want to just belly him in the corner there, but it would not have worked out well. But here we go. Big damage. We've got the fury buff from it. He's been power locked, so we're going to get to level some more here. Look at all these furies we have on us. We've got 3. We've got the rage building back up again. I went for the SP2 there. In hindsight, I would have really liked to have gone for the SP3. I think it would have been a smarter play. It may have even killed him. But then we could have come in for the big finish. And of course, that would have refreshed all of the rage there. So would have refreshed all of the overpowered buffs. This guy is awesome. He's fun. I cannot wait to get out more videos for him, but I wanted to take my time and really test him a bit and really give you guys my opinion on him, what I thought. I think he's great. I'm not going to rank him yet, but this was all Act 7. This was all Act 7. This was 4 different lanes that you got to see him do, and he just manhandles them. You feel like you're playing Kingpin. You are brutal. You are a brawler, and you just take damage, and it doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, and I'd love to read them and see. We'll probably get out a few more Kingpin videos. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on Twitter at Vega Gaming 583. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.